What is up, y'all? I think I prematurely went live. What is up? A little on the bright side here. There we go. I don't know if I'm live or not. What's up, Terry? I am live, ain't I? Skinny. What's up, Michael? I was like, am I live? There we go. All right. What's up, Carrie? Everybody started piling in there. What's up, Connor? Hello, fish out of water. What is up? Hello, Chad. Hello, Wichita Falls. And Hour. And Kevin. What's up, guys? A light turned off? Yeah, it was really bright, so I turned it down a little bit. That's not too bad. Game 7 starts soon. I know. About Game 5, the guy that caught the home run, that had went to get beer, and he was walking back to his seat, and he had a Bud Light in each hand, and he hits the home run off of his chest and gets the home run ball. His name is Jeff Adams. I got a text today from someone and they said, man, your name went viral. And I'm like, what? And they sent me a link. And I had seen his deal, but I didn't know that his name was Jeff Adams. It was pretty cool. So yeah, Game 7. I'm probably not going to be able to watch it because I'll be going live for the first half hour, and then I got plans later. So what's up, Mary? Nice to see ya. I keep forgetting to text you whenever I'm going live. She told me either last week or the week before to text her, and I keep forgetting. I just forget about Mary anymore. No, I don't. No, I keep forgetting to text her. How are you doing tonight? How is everyone doing tonight? But Game 7 should be epic. I love Game 7s. It's like no matter what, you know by the end there's going to be a World Series champion. And if the Nationals win, I guarantee it's got to be the first time that a series went to Game 7 and the away team won every game. I guarantee it's got to be something like that. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm trying to think of if there's anything new to talk about. You know what, Carrie? I did get your message. I've been terrible about answering messages back this week. I promise you I will get back with you later. I haven't opened it yet, try to forget about it, and I do that here lately, and then I do forget about it. So, yeah, sorry about that. But, have you been getting any snow, Carrie? I know my mom hasn't gotten any, but I'm just a few hours north of you, and we've been getting snow the last 2 days. We got like 2 inches. Today's Wednesday. We got 2 inches Monday, and then we're supposed to get 2 inches tonight as well. So, I didn't know if you'd gotten any. Snow is tomorrow. Okay. Ever been so excited for something that it is all you can think about? Because that's me right now about getting my puppy. Yeah, I remember you're getting a neat little puppy. We had a dusting, but I'm 4 hours north. Yep. Where my shop is in Iowa City, they had like 4 inches Monday. So, pretty crazy. This hat is feeling uncomfortable tonight. No snow up in Minnesota. Yeah, you're in Wisconsin if I remember right. Kevin's up in the Twin Cities area. Um, Trying to think of anything new. I started a new tank this week. I took down one of my oldest tanks to my channel, completely down to bare bones, nothing. Added a new air system to it, and switched up some tanks and stocked it differently than what it had ever been. It used to be my breeding for profit tank. It used to have shrimp in it and guppies in it. And at one time, for the longest time, it had super reds in it. Super reds had spawned in that tank, and it had a bunch of Malaysian trumpet snails. And I took everything that was in there out. I'd already took the super reds out, which I don't even know if I've even showed you guys that. I've got a super red video. That's one thing I didn't do this week. I didn't make a video for you guys, but I've got a super red video to show you guys. Jamie McDonald's in the house. What's up, Jamie? Nice to see ya. We got Kent's Fish in the house. What? That white, that's all. What's that fall down I've ever seen? That maybe on the movies. Yeah. I moved to Iowa, gosh, 18 years ago this last spring. And I grew up in southern Missouri, and we had snow growing up. And I always used to think it was a lot of snow. But now that I live up here, I realize that we didn't have very much snow when I was growing up. More ice storms than snow. But every year we would get a couple of snows, decent ones. But here in Iowa, we get snow for like 3 or 4 months. And there's sometimes where there's snow on the ground nonstop for like 3 months at a time. It gets really old by the end of it, and I think, unless I've forgotten, I think this is about the earliest that significant snowfall has came since I've lived here. About the earliest I remember was one time I was deer hunting with a buddy, and we were out bow hunting in mid-November, like the week before Thanksgiving sometime, and the deer just started exploding in the woods, and it was because there was a snowstorm coming in, and it snowed really good that day. I can remember dragging that deer out, and I mean, the drifts were getting crazy already. Bailey Barnart's here. What's up, Bailey? Daryl Deemer's in the house. What's up, Daryl? Nice to see you. Not Nola Jane Fish Rich is in the house. What is up, Not Nola Jane? She says, smash that thumbs up. Thanks a lot, Not Nola Jane. Nice to see ya. Our Aquatic says, amen to that. Justin Thibodeau's in the house. What's up, Justin? Nice to see ya. Angie is in the house. What's up, Angie? Nice to see ya. See, Bailey, he messaged me earlier today, and I left it open to where I wouldn't forget about it. And I remember seeing the heading. I know Carrie is talking about she wants some more cheese creeks because I seen in the heading, and I thought I'm going to leave that. I've been really bad about answering emails back here lately. I got another guy that was on this live stream last week. I did finally get him answered back yesterday, but his email came in like last Thursday. I've just been really bad at follow-up here lately, and I think really what it is this is the first month of the new quarter for me at work. And last quarter, which means the last 3 months prior to this month, was the busiest month or quarter I've ever had in my whole career. I mean, last Friday when I had an office day, I had 82 emails to answer for work, you know, and I've took on like 150 new clients in the last 4 months now, and this month has been another crazy month. I mean, I didn't think that the numbers would come in like this, so it's a blessing. The business is going so good, but it's made my other little YouTube venture kind of go by the wayside. But it's not really an excuse. I need to get back with Carrie. And then Bailey was just wanting to know if I was going live tonight at 7. Hey everyone. Oh yeah, Bailey's got a new Instagram. What's up is my Celtics are playing Milwaukee right now on ESPN. That's awesome. I think I'm really excited about the Celtics. Jason Tatum is amazing. He is quite the ball player. And what's the Brown kid's first name? Brown is really good too. I think it's going to be good for them that they got rid of Kyrie, because Kyrie was like poison to them. And then the guy that broke his ankle that used to be on Utah Jazz, I like him a lot too. He's really consistent. But I don't know who's going to win tonight. I technically, since the Astros have been so much in the last 7 years, they've been there quite a bit. And then they've won one, and the Nationals, this is their first time going, so I kind of am always that underdog type guy. I'd kind of like to see the Nationals win tonight. Jaylen Brown, yeah, and Gordon Hayward, yeah. Gordon Hayward, I was watching the game, I don't think it was last year, was it? It would have been the year before. 6 minutes into game 1 of their season, Gordon Hayward had that complete fracture of the ankle, you know, and I was watching that game, and that type of injury hits home to me because my oldest son had a really bad injury like that. He was in a real bad accident where his tibia and his fibia, he got a complete fracture. So in the shin bone, it bent like this was his shin bone, you know, and his leg was just flopping whenever I came up on the accident. And it's kind of one of those type of superstition type things, but that injury had already bothered me a lot. You know, Joe Theismann, there's tons. Wasn't his injury like that too? I mean, there's tons of sports injuries, and that always bothered me. It's a haunting injury, because anytime that something like that happens, that the bone and the leg is not supposed to move that way, it just is haunting, you know. And for the longest time, it haunted me walking up on the accident scene of my son, seeing him in so much dire, he had never needed me more in his whole life, you know. And it was just one of those type of things that it took me a long time to get over, and to this day it's hard for me to think about, you know. I try to not think about it. Zones out when the sports talk happens. Yeah, I know you were complaining about that last Wednesday, but here on Jeffroz FishKeeping, I allow my subscribers to talk about whatever they want to. And you know, it's kind of a hangout type of thing. That's how I've always been. So if you want to talk about fish, bring up some fish topics. If you have any fish questions, my channel is really pleco heavy. So if you have any pleco questions, pleco breeding questions, bring it on. But we are going to talk about different things here, Connor, and it's okay. Sorry about hijacking that for a couple of minutes. It's okay, Justin. No worries. Bear Bottom Aquariums is here. What is up, Bear Bottom? Nice to see ya. Haven't seen you in a coon's age. Nice to see you. Maybe you were here last week. I can't remember. Terry says, in less than 24 hours, I will have salt water flowing in the fish room for the first time in like 6 years. That is awesome, Terry. I'm definitely going to be watching for that. That is so exciting. I'm subscribed to Roman Atwood, and he's got a couple of different saltwater tanks, and like the one, I want to say it's like a 1,200 gallon tank, and he just got done having the one completely redone in his living room, and those are so cool. I mean, he had so much live coral, and it was really cool to see the process, how it had kind of got overrun and how they broke it down and stuff. And man, that would be amazing to be able to do a saltwater tank. I mean, I would really feel accomplished if I got something like that done. Let's see here. Bailey says, I want in your will for all of your pleco if you still have any once you're old and more gray. Yeah, that 55 gallon, whenever I stocked it the other day, there's tons of those bad boys in there, and it's really kind of cool. I fed almost a whole can of green beans to that tank last night. So my water changes in that tank are going to go up tremendously. Justin says, here's a question, not quite pleco related, but I scored a few Hillstream loaches. Do you have any experience with them? I've never had any Hillstream loaches, but if I remember right, the Hillstream loach, you need to, they have a tendency to starve, if I remember right. Let me look that one up real quick. Make sure that I'm not thinking of a different loach. Hillstream loach. Images. No, I am wrong. I was thinking of a different fish. I have never kept the Hillstream loach. Let's look up care on that thing. Should be put in well established since they eat algae, and a new tank doesn't seem to have any algae in it right away. The tank should be pH neutral to slightly alkaline for them to thrive, as well as medium hard water with the temperature set at 68 to 75. So that is kind of like what I was thinking. I can't remember the type of fish that I was thinking of, but if you don't have a well-established tank, it's going to be kind of hard to keep them from starving. Let's see. Oh, I have a bunch of Roman Atwood merch. He's literally the first YouTuber I watch religiously and still watch. I had never got any of his merch until just recently. I purchased a Smile More black t-shirt, one of the comfortable ones. So the, oh, what do you call that? I've got some on my merchandise as well. The more higher end t-shirt, and it came with a black poster with gold Smile More on it. He was running some kind of promotion where you get a free poster with it. It wasn't the signed one. There was a bunch of them that they signed, but it was the first time they'd ever done a gold Smile More poster, and I gave that to my son. He has it in his bedroom, but I thought it was pretty cool to get one of those. Mile High Plecos is in the house. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Mikey? Nice green emoji. He went away from the pink. It used to be orange, and then he went to pink, and now he's in the third phase, the third chapter of the Mile High Pleco brand. And it's green. Pulling eggs. What kind of eggs are you pulling, Mikey? All right, folks, I'm out for the night. Check out my new Pleco-based Instagram. I follow back. The Zen Ginger's in the house. What's up, Zen Ginger? Kiwi Momo is here. What is up, Kiwi Momo? Nice to see you guys. Are Plecos nocturnal? I never see mine. Yeah, they're pretty nocturnal. A lot of times I feed my Plecos at nighttime. I do have some, I've got a group of 6 L182 Starlight Ancestress, and ever since I put them in this new tank last weekend, they've been really active in eating and breeding out during light hours. My lights all go off somewhere around 8 o'clock, 8:30, somewhere around in there. I've tried to get them all synced up, but it's somewhere between 8 o'clock and 8:30. And in the nighttime hours between like 6 and 8, those Starlight Plecos are really, really active here the last week. And if you go to my Instagram, I posted a video, kind of a behind the scenes, where I zoom in on my monitor, and they've been doing a lot of breeding activity this week. As of about an hour ago, there's no eggs or anything, but it's been a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to film. So I'll bring more of that to you guys in the near future. I'm trying to wait and see if they spawn, because the trick that I did, I want to brag about it. Autos is exactly what I was thinking about, Terry. The auto sinklets, them things, they are really known for starving, and there's some stuff that you can put in the tank that puts biofilm in your tank. I learned that from Jimmy, actually. Jimmy from Aquarium Co-op. He had some auto sinklets, and it's kind of the same stuff, I believe, that you use for crystal shrimp. It's like an additive that you can put to the water, And you do that like once a week, and it adds enough stuff for them to get a good biofilm in the water because they require that. But the Hillstream loaches do, it's better if you have an established tank, and I did know that, but I forgot. Rarely see them. They need algae. Will eat veggies and flake. I grow algae on rocks for them. That's a good idea. Thank you, Kiwi Momo. Thirsty Rabbit's in the house. What's up, Thirsty Rabbit? Everyone like, share, and sub it up. Thanks a lot, Not Nola Jean. Not Nola Jean. I do that all the time. Not Nola Jane. Maybe you should change your name to Not Nola Jean, and then I'll start calling you Not Nola Jane. Ay, ay, ay. Pam is in the house. What is up, Pam? Nice to see ya. I have the camo hats that he always wears, like the one he lost in Hawaii. Yep. I remember he got that one back somehow, and I got the blue t-shirt and the green clear water bottle, and I also got the blue dad hat. Cool. I have I hear autos will eat Rapashi. I would bet you they would, because that green soylent, I bet you they would eat that. I bet you they would. My autos eat the green O-nips from Sarah also. That's awesome. Thanks, Zen Ginger. Kevin is out of here. See you later, Kevin. D from Down the Wormhole is here. What is up, girl? Nice to see ya. Stephen Barry is here. What is up, Stephen? Or Stephen, Stephanie. Yo, Stephen, that's your name now. Stephanie. Oh my gosh, I need to get my reading glasses on. It's like, still Stephen. I had to start wearing reading glasses a few months ago, guys. That's why I've got it pulled up on my 50-inch flat screen TV, because here on the phone it's hard for me to see it. And I still called Stephanie Stephen. Ay, ay, ay. That's a new one. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Oh, man. Let's see here. Where we at? Jeff wrote it up again. Yeah, I did, Mary. Jeff wrote that one up big time. It's been a while since I Jeff wrote it up. Not really. I Jeff wrote it up every day in my life. Yes. Other than my name going viral on the internet, nothing really new. Old people problems is right, Connor. How old are you? I started needing cheaters at 49. I am 43. I'll be 44 in January. And the biggest reason why I started using cheaters is because I got a letter from a therapist, and my printer, I just got a brand new printer, by the way, but my printer, for like the last 6 months of its life before it finally crapped out on me, the toner cartridge needed to be changed, and I just hadn't pulled the trigger and got a new one yet, and it was getting blurrier and blurrier, and I was like, golly, it's getting so bad I can't hardly read it. Well, I had a pair of old reading glasses laying around that I'd gotten a long time ago, but I just never really needed them, and I put them on, and I could read the letter really good, and I was like, oh crud. So I started wearing them, and then after I started wearing them at my desk to read letters and things like that, then I started wearing them whenever I would get on my social media on my phone and my iPad. And now I can't go on social media really without them. I can't read emails on my phone without them. I can't read LMNs and doctor's orders or anything without them. I can see everything out in the general public perfectly fine. I can read things from a distance still really well. It's just that close-up, small print. I have to have cheaters. So, yeah, 43, almost 44, had to do it. Michael says 59 here, and I'm not old, except some days then I am ancient. I really don't ever feel old. That's about the only old thing that I've got going on right now, is having to wear reading glasses now. And I got gray in my beard, but I don't feel old at all, ever. I don't feel like hard to get around or anything like that. So I'm so mad at my printer right now. Won't let me use repurposed cartridges. Oh my goodness. Nursing school is aging me. Yeah, you what would age me if I was you right now, Mary, would be the 4 hours of traffic that you set in every day. I could not do it. It would drive me crazy. I would be the road rage guy. I watched a video the other day where at the top of the video heading it said, "This guy hates traffic more than anyone in the world," and he just had his arm out the window with this middle finger out, not waving it, not yelling or anything. He was just driving in bumper to bumper traffic with his arm out the window, flipping off the world the whole time. The whole time he didn't move his arm. It was just out the window, flipping everyone in the world off. And I really laughed at that one. I thought, wow, that would be me. That would so be me. I hate traffic with the passion. Oh my gosh. You don't feel old, but you sure do look old. Thanks, Mikey. Oh man. Oh yeah, Mary. I would hate that. That's what would make me get old really bad. I've got this one stretch of road that I go on that I call bad traffic, that if there was no traffic and you could drive the speed limit, it would take 30 minutes. But at 8 o'clock in the morning, it takes you an hour. So it's like what I would consider bad traffic. I hate whenever you need to go somewhere and it usually would take a half hour and it takes a whole hour. And it's getting to the point on that road between Iowa City and Cedar Rapids that no matter what time of the day you go, it's like that. No, I would hate that. I do hate that. Wow, my high, just wow. Yeah, Mikey knows that he can tell me that and get away with it. He knows that I can't reach him from where he's at right now. But yeah, I hate that ink stuff, Mary. Yes, me too. Mine was getting to the point, well, I kept on asking my secretary to order me one next time he goes to Staples and pick it up. And he kept on not doing it and kept on not doing it. And I was just going to order one off of Amazon because it was like 70 bucks or something like that. But my printer was like 4 years old. And I was like, I need a new one. And they had a brand new one that came in for one of the other guys at the office, but they couldn't figure out how to get it hooked up. And I was like, I know it's going to work for me. It took me like 4 hours, but I got it finally to work to where it works on our network and everything. It's a network printer, so I am back in business with my printer. I can scan orders into the system. I can print. I mean, I've got everything all back up and running, and it's been such a good feeling. It's the best it's been in over a year. I put up with printer problems for a whole year. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Mikey, you win. I just lost my breath there for a second. I'm talking about not feeling old, and I just died on the live stream. I died for 1 second. Oh, I'm in a good mood tonight because today was a good day. It's been a good week. I get off Friday. I've got plans tonight that are really good. Tonight's going to be a good night. I just died and then came back to life, so that's good. Tonight's Game 7 of the World Series, so that's good. Things are good. Business is good. The YouTube channel's good. I've been not making videos and not feeling bad about it, but I do need to get a video up for you guys. I technically, if you go back and watch last week's live stream, I technically promised I would get a video up for you guys and haven't yet still. It's like, I gotta do it, gotta get it done. Just be glad your body actually works because mine doesn't or has it ever. So fun. Disabled life. I work with disabled people, so I'm not complaining about that at all. I've worked with disabled people for 22 years, And I definitely know that um, things could be a lot worse for me. Um, I work in a field where I do all types of different equipment for disabled people, from kids all the way to the geriatric public, and that's what I do for work. Mostly what I do for work is I go and meet with therapists and doctors and patients and family members, and come up with ideas of what type of equipment they need um, to be able to do their daily living. And then I measure them for it, and then I start the ordering process to get it all covered through insurance. And I've done that for 20, almost 23 years. In November, it'll be 23 years. So, yeah, actually, in November, it'll be 22 years. November 18th, since I was like 20 years old, somewhere around in there. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean, Connor. Um, I am glad that I'm glad that all my children are not disabled. I'm glad that I'm not disabled. I've got a daughter that she deals with some heavy duty anxiety, and every time she has a bad day and she's getting down, I always tell her, you know, it could be a lot worse. It could be, you know. I'm glad that my kids are as healthy as they are. I'm glad that I am as healthy as I am, because man, the obstacles that disabled people go through is cruddy, you know. They have to fight for everything they get. Ken Amy is in the house. What is up, Ken? Nice to see ya. By equipment, you mean like wheelchairs and such? Yep, I do wheelchairs. Most of the time, I've worked for all kinds of companies. So I've worked for companies that do a full line of medical supply. But the last two companies that I've worked at, since I've been doing it for so long, I'm more of a specialist. I'm certified, and I deal with more of the higher end equipment. Um, so I hardly ever deal with just standard equipment. Um, like one of the wheelchairs that I was working with today is a $54,000 wheelchair. Um, so the doctors and therapists hardly ever call me for standard equipment. They call me for the tough cases, you know, the ones that, you know, people really, you know, have real big disabilities. Those are the ones that they call me for, because I've got such a mass experience with all that stuff. So yes, that is the gist of it. I'm supposed to be getting a new power chair in December if my insurance will allow it, which is a constant battle. It is a constant battle. There has been times where it has taken me a year to get someone a wheelchair. Like, actually, honestly, today I delivered a wheelchair that this is the second time I tried to get her a wheelchair. And this time we started in July of 2018, and now it is the end of October. So this has been a year and a half-ish. But I had tried for I had tried for a year, like 6 months before this second time that we started, and we got a denial, and she just was really flustered about the denial. Her chair that I replaced today is like 12 years old, you know. But I think the first time we were trying for a little bit too high end of a wheelchair, honestly. And I think insurance could tell. So this time I was in the driver's seat at the beginning a little bit more whenever it was the selection process. But she was kind of driving this whole thing, you know. Um, like, honestly, in order to get these done, you have to really go a certain way. If you don't, they'll take a long time, and this one did. It took a year and a half to get. So my wheelchair now is a $46,000 one. It has it's a permobil with the stander. So yep, higher end chair. Yep. I've done 4 of those permobil standers this year, and I'm working on one right now. And yep, They're a nice, actually Permobil is my favorite equipment to use if I had a choice every single time. But something I learned a long time ago is that, you know, a manufacturer doesn't always work for every single person too. So if I wanted to do a Permobil standard for everyone, it might not always work for everyone. But yep. Mary says insurance across the board seems not to want to pay for anything. Yep, and there's a lot of different angles that you can look at that, but one of the big ones, one of the biggest reasons why we have so many roadblocks in getting equipment for people with disabilities is there was a lot of fraud out there done. There was years where these little companies would spring up and they would do evil things like buy people's social security numbers and bill for equipment when the people aren't getting the equipment. So they would bill the insurance and get paid for equipment and not actually even know the people and not actually even order the equipment and give to the people. And the people wouldn't find out later until they tried to get some equipment through their insurance, and the insurance wouldn't pay because of a same or similar denial, meaning that they already had equipment and they never had ever even tried to get equipment before. And we're talking like millions and millions of dollars of that kind of stuff went on. So all of these insurance companies started really cracking down on, you know, you got to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt that the person needs it before you can get it now. And then there's other things that go into it too. But yeah, it is definitely a battle. Moms with kids, like cerebral palsy, for instance, there's a lot of stuff that if you don't intervene at young stages of their life, it will cause them problems up into their adult years. It will cause them contractures and all kinds of different positioning problems in their adult years if you don't intervene. And moms with kids with disabilities, I have a huge respect for, because they have to fight every single day to get anything for their kids. I mean, a lot of people do, don't get me wrong, but in order to make for sure that their kid is going to grow up to be an adult that doesn't have more issues than what they're already going to have is like a constant day-to-day fight. It really is. There was somebody else that comes to my live streams that's disabled in a wheelchair as well. I can't remember who it was. Used to years ago, before I changed my channel to fish keeping, I would do random videos, and I did a head-to-head video with two manufacturing chairs that the manufacturer's reps had given me demos, and I had a couple of them with me here at my house. I officed from home, and I did a head-to-head video with them on speed, and then like both of the reps had bragged about them going over curbs and different things like that. And I actually drove one to go up over the curb, and whenever I did, it flipped me over on my side. And for the longest time, that was on my banner on my Twitter and my YouTube. You know, it was a really cool like snapshot from the video camera that I was videoing with, and it's me holding a GorillaPod and my 80D camera, my Canon, and the chair is over on its side and I'm on the ground trying to hold my camera up from crashing into the pavement. And that video was up for a long time, and it actually started getting some traction and people were watching it. And one day I got a phone call from my manufacturer's rep, and he said, "Did you make a video about our chair?" And I was like, "No." I mean, this was like years after the video was up. I'm like, "No, not that I know of." And he was like, "Well, the manufacturer came up to me at a symposium thing and said that you had made a video." And I remember seeing a long time ago that that manufacturer had became a subscriber of mine, but I never thought nothing of it. But they asked me to take it down, and I'd never been asked to take down a video before. And I was like, well, I don't even remember naming the manufacturer in the video or anything, you know. And it almost kind of, as an artist, you know, making videos and stuff, it almost made me almost feel offended. But this guy and me, I've worked with him for 18 years. He's an excellent manufacturer's rep. And I asked him, I said, well, can I mark it private? You know, I just kind of hated deleting it. You know, it's like work. I did work. I made a video, you know, it was a fully edited video. Um, and he was like, can you take it down? I was like, yeah. So I took it down, and it's nowhere to, you know, I don't even have backup of it or anything. So, but anyhow, it's the only time that I've ever completely taken a video completely down. There's been some videos that I've marked private that I no longer want on my channel or whatever, you know, because man, it was bad. But that one, you know, it was a fun video to make too. It was me and my son and his buddies. We had drone footage during it. I mean, it was a well done video. Skipper's Aquarium's here. What is up? Nice to see ya. I was at a Cub Scout committee meeting. Awesome. That's one thing I never did ever get into is Boy Scouts. But I know there was somebody not too long ago. I can't even remember how old he is. I don't know how old you have to be in order to be a master Boy Scout, but he got every last badge that there was ever known, like Eagle Scout and everything, you know. And I thought that would be pretty cool, because if you get those badges, you really know the outdoors, you know. It's like an extra feather in your cap, because I know the outdoors. I mean, I've went hunting for just about everything out there. You know, I've went fishing for just about everything out there. I really know the outdoors, you know. I know how to really get after those big bucks out there in the deer woods. And coyotes, you know, coyotes are some of the hardest ones to hunt. And, you know, coyote hunting really intrigues me. It, like, getting an old male coyote to me is like more of a trophy than getting a big giant buck. The biggest buck I ever killed was, you know, neighbor took it, you know, the neighbor found it. I was dumb. I went after it way too quick. It was a bad shot with the bow. And so the biggest buck I've ever killed, big giant, like 180 class, 12 point buck, probably was like a 360 pound deer, ended up on the neighbors, and he was a mean jerk and wouldn't let me have the deer head. But I learned a big lesson that day. Don't rush your shot in 60-mile-an-hour winds with the bow and arrow. Let's see here. I'm probably one of the most expensive kids ever. I have 2 LTV ventilators, a cough assist, a nebulizer, an oxygen concentrator, and 2 suction machines. So yeah, I have a lot of expensive things. I would guess, and you don't have to say, Connor, but I would guess just by seeing that right there that you have possibly muscular dystrophy. But I don't know. It's just, you know, if you were an older adult, I would think ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or the Lou Gehrig's, but I'm guessing you have a form of muscular dystrophy. Chattanooga Ed is in the house. What is up, Ed? Nice to see you. Tom says, I agree, that would be cool to get an old coyote male. Love duck hunting myself. Yep, I've been duck hunting. I didn't get really any keepers the day that I went duck hunting, but I've went goose hunting a lot. The last time I went goose hunting was in March in Nebraska, I think around Sidney, Nebraska, and they have a really good snow goose flyway during that time of the year. And I've got a couple of really nice snow geese on the wall, and it was a lot of fun. Some of those snow geese get that red clay stain on them during that time of the year in Nebraska, and they're really beautiful. But I got one that is a hanging mount. It hangs from the ceiling, that's in like the landing look, and then I've got one that's doing like a turn that's on like a piece of driftwood or something. And you would be absolutely correct. I have X-linked myotubular myopathy. That's what I get for so many years. I mean, really, you didn't give me very much information, but enough that I could tell that it was um, muscular dystrophy. Wow, Jeffro, that's cool. I'm proud of you, buddy. What about Mary? What are you proud of me about? Huh, that's got me wondering now. What is Mary proud of me about? These days come and go, Ed. I will be okay. Um, Pam, you shared on Facebook the other day a picture, and I feel bad for bringing it up now because I drew a blank of what it. Oh, it was a. It was either an otter. No, it was a pine marten, and I believe it was an old sketch that you did years ago. Yep, it was a pine marten, and that um, picture really hit home to me because um, I dabbled in trapping, just dabbled, but I've never lived in an area where there was marten, and I know how to catch marten if I ever had a chance to work on a trap line with them. But the series Mountain Men from the History Channel, I believe it is. There's a lot of different guys that do trapping on there that have trapped marten, and it's really a beautiful specimen. But that picture, I think it was a sketch. Oh, you had just finished it last week? Oh, okay. I thought it was like a memory that you had shared. Must have been just because it was black and white. I was thinking that it was an older one that you did and you were sharing, or maybe you had said something. When I tell people what I have, they either look at me extremely confused or they just say they've never heard of it. Yep, I'll tell you. There's so many different strains of muscular dystrophy. The one that I've worked with a lot is Duchenne's, and it's a really bad strain. I mean, they're all bad, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I've worked with some really really difficult ones. I mean, they're all difficult, but yours is one of the difficult ones. Chattanooga Ed said, I love Pam's art. I do too. I love that she does animals, like that pine marten. That was so cool. I mean, it's the little pads on its feet and everything. Yeah, Pam, how's your weather right now? We got a couple of different snow patterns that have came in. We've got one happening right now that I think we're supposed to get like 2 inches. The first one that came in had some moisture in with it and some cool temperatures, so it got kind of crunchy and crusty. Got down to 15. Yeah, it hasn't got that cold here yet. Hasn't got that cold yet. Right now it's still like sweatshirt weather here. I don't even think it's got into the 20s yet. So whenever I say cool temperatures, sorry, I don't mean to. Yeah, Mary's like complaining. It's 72 here. Mary went to Florida this week, and I sent her a Snapchat Monday that had like some snow in the picture or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, like she wanted to be there." And I'm like, "Didn't you just get back from Florida?" you know, like last February when I went to Florida, when I got on the plane in Des Moines, it took me an hour and 45 minutes to get to Des Moines, where it's usually 45-minute drive. There was 6 inches of snow on the ground, and it was snowing heavily whenever I got on the plane. And then I get off the plane, and it was 82 degrees in Florida. It was so nice, and I get to do that every year now for at least this year. I know we're going to be... No. We're going to a different state this year, I think. I think we're going to Arizona. I want to say we're going to Arizona. Oh, I better look that up. It's like time for us to register, too. But I was thinking we're going to Tallahassee? I think we're still going to Florida, but it's not the same place as last year. But going to a nicer climate in the wintertime is so nice. I never ever had that experience before. I'd heard of people talking about they go to Florida in the wintertime, to get away, and it really is a good mental getaway. Every time I got a chance, I went out and sat down in the nice 82-degree, non-humid February weather in Florida. It's so nice. You're going again for Christmas? Dang. I can't even lift a 1 pound weight, which I've tried several times. I do good sometimes to hold my phone up to type on it, but hey, I make it work. Yep, I was just talking to a guy. Um, he presented MS, highly progressed MS, but I can't think of what his is called now. His is like really rare, but it's neurological. And I was talking to him about a gentleman that was highly progressed MS by the time I got to him. And I was at his house to evaluate him and all of his needs in his home, because I used to be a certified environmental access consultant, which basically is a long word for I was certified to come into your home and make sure that it's safe, and to check out and see what types of upgrades, what kinds of things we could do to your home to make your daily living good. I let that certification go because it really wasn't needed anymore. You just don't really need it nowadays. It was only $70 a year to keep up, but I'm still good at it. But anyhow, I went to this guy's home to do an evaluation of his home, and I hadn't met him before, so I was evaluating his physical as well. And how he walked up steps was he would swing his legs back and forth until it got high enough to get on the step, and then he would swing his arm back and forth to pull it up onto the hand railing, and then whenever he got to the door, he swung his arm back and forth until it got high enough to grab with his teeth on his sweatshirt and hold it with his teeth over to the door handle. And it was just normal life for him. He adapted to that, you know. And to you, that would be like more than what you can do possibly. You know what I mean? Like, you adapt. You find ways to adapt and persevere and push, you know. I was going to get worse and die before I graduated. This was in 8th grade, and I graduated at 17 with honors, so I showed her up. Oh, when I was in high school, the lady that was over all the IEP, individualized educational plan, said I wasn't going to get an actual diploma. I was just going to get a certificate, and she tried to say she had looked it up and that. Oh, that's terrible, man. I hate it when people talk like that. You know? I have to see those kind of things all the time, you know, when the end result is bad. But I don't like to talk about it. I like to talk about what we can do now. What is the now? You know, what can we do now? I don't like to look forward to that kind of stuff, you know. That's terrible. Skipper says, did you happen to get my new email? Ugh. I was just talking about this earlier in the live stream, how terrible I've been at follow-up. I thought that I had sent you an email, Tom. And if I did, that means that I didn't get it right. But I don't remember getting a notification back that it didn't come. So however you got a hold of me last time, Tom, do it again, and we'll hook back up again. And I'm terribly sorry. I've been just overrun at work here lately. Yeah, Jeffro has a million emails. As of last Friday, I had 82 emails, and I was just so far behind. I think it actually literally did get up to 100. And that's whenever I was like, whoa, I got to get this caught up. You did send me one, and I replied. Oh, you replied. Okay. Well, I'm streaming from my... send me another email just to get it back up in there again, if you don't mind. And I'm sorry about that. Positive energy and thinking goes a long ways. It sure does, Mary. It sure does. Oh, my Fitbit vibrated. It threw me off for a second. I can't walk or bear weight on my legs nor lift my elbows up, so if I could just pick my elbows up, that would be amazing itself. Yes. Yeah, I know, Mary. It's been bad, though. A lot of those emails, all I really need to do is just double check and make for sure that my secretary has followed up on them. Like whenever I send someone an email or a response, I try to keep it unopened. That way I can go back and look at it. And then I have a really bad problem about, I was talking about this earlier too, where I mark it unopened again because I want it to be there to show me that I still need to do something on it, and then I forget to go back to it, and then it gets buried. And that's what's happened with Carrie's Facebook message that she sent me. I kind of know what's going on in her message, but I haven't sat down and actually really read it. I know she's wanting some plecos, you know what I mean? And like, it might have been what happened with Tom as well. You can always search your email for a particular one on the search bar. Yeah, it's what I was gonna do, but I'm live streaming from my phone, and that's where the email would be. So that's why I asked Tom to resend me another email, and then it would get it back up in the top. You know what I mean? Because now I'm gonna forget. Yeah, I know. I could do the flags. I really could, Mary. I need to do that. I really could do the flags. That would help. I've never ever used flags ever. Yeah, I know, right? Vinoxky Tank is in the house. What is up, Vinoxky? I just wanted to check in. We got about 9 minutes left in the live stream, and then Dan from Dan's Fish is going to be going live. And last week, I went over his live stream, and his live stream has really grown. His channel has actually grown as well. There was a while where me and him were really close in subscribers. Like, I was only like 600 behind him, and I'm at like 3,500 now, and he's at like 7,500. Whenever he started getting in, what do you call it whenever you get fish in from overseas? Oh gosh. Well, anyhow, whenever he started getting fish in from overseas and all these different cool fish that he's getting, he's really grown his channel. And I think that Get Gil's website has probably helped with that too. He's went a little bit more full time with it as well. But whenever I went over to his live stream the other night, last Wednesday night, there was like 700 people there. It was a really good live stream. So if you guys haven't ever been over to Dan's Fish, he goes live right after me, and his live streams are really good. He's very, very knowledgeable as well. And he stays on topic. It's not like me. Like me, I like to hang out with my subscribers after, you know, you make videos all the time, and people comment on your videos, and you try to get the comments back. But this gives an hour to my subscribers every week to just talk about whatever they want to talk about. If you guys want to talk about fish the whole time, that's no problem. But it's also an open discussion where I don't really care what the rules are out there. We don't have any rules here. I just like to keep it clean to where if there's kids watching and stuff like that, you know, we can keep it family friendly. And the women start complaining if we get too gross, so they keep us in check. You know, we don't want to get too gross. I've worked with nurses my whole life, and nurses see a lot of gross things throughout the day. So nurses, whenever they're sitting down eating, they can talk about all that gross stuff and not get sicked out. And I worked around them for a long time, so I got to where I could talk about them, you know, all the gross things during meals and stuff like that. So I have bad etiquette when it comes to that, unless someone brings it up like, ew. And like, I noticed Not Nola Jane earlier, whenever we was talking about broken bones, she was like doing a bunch of emojis. So I know that Not Nola Jane doesn't want us to talk about bad broken bones and stuff like that, because it kind of it haunts me too. I don't really like to watch it, you know. If there's ever a video like the girl, and it's bad because I'm getting on that subject again, but like the girl gymnast last year that broke her kneecaps when she came down from that, I knew I shouldn't watch that video. And like, I watched the video, and it's like, don't watch the video. That's all you got to do, is just don't watch it, because oh, it's just so bad. Also, you're probably my number favorite YouTuber now, just because you're cool and I like talking to you. Well, thanks a lot, Connor. I appreciate that. And you can always reach out to me. I'm a wealth of knowledge when it comes to medical equipment and how to get it, and different things, you know. If you ever just want to talk, if anybody ever put, you know, like that teacher or the AEA lady or whoever that was in charge of that IEP meeting, that was just terrible. But even though I don't get the business, I always tell people, reach out to me. I can most definitely point you in the right direction, because I've seen just about everything out there that there is to see. And it could be something simple that you think's just a dumb question, and I could point you in the right direction and help you out a lot. There's been a lot of people like that, that they get their equipment from someone else, but they know that I know my stuff. And next time they need their equipment, they'll go through me, though. You know what I mean? And that's not why I do it. It's because I know I can be a big resource. You know what I mean? Like, anytime that someone has done this for so long, they've just done all kinds of things. You know, I've had lots of people like you that I've worked with, and I've got all that knowledge of memories of what worked and didn't work in my mind, you know, so I can help. Not Nola Jane says, don't need the visual. Yes. I really shouldn't have clicked on that video because that one's a bad one. And she was young. Oh, boys are gross. The Sin Ginger. Oh, that was a good one. I can ruin a dinner at the next table talking about my job. Yep, Jamie, you probably could. Oh, man. Yep. I've heard some stories too. Like, I got one that I cannot tell on here at all. And it's like the worst one ever. And it comes from southern Missouri hillbilly type stuff. And my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, his sister is a nurse. And she was in OBGYN slash for babies, obstetrics, I guess you would call it, OB, so obstetrics. And there was a really bad case that came in one time to have a baby, and I can't tell you guys on here at all. Skipper says, I am going to jump over to Dan's stream and get ready to mod. You got email, you got mail. Okay, thanks a lot, Tom. Let's see here. We got 3 minutes left. I wish I lived near you. I would totally go through you. Well, thanks a lot, Connor. Appreciate that. Josh B is here. Hey, Jeffro. How them Cheese Creeks doing? Got to see you. Good to see you going again. My Cheese Creeks are going great. I just set up a new aquarium for them, and they're doing great, man. I've got probably over 100 of them. There's some of them that are like 2 to 3 inches long, and then there's some of them that are 1 to 1.5 inches long. There's some of them that are still like little runts too, you know. I worked as an MA at a OBGYN. Lots of bizarre happenings, yes. And I'll tell you this one after the stream, Mary, because now you're going to be wondering. But, oh, it was a bad one. Aquatic Nest is in the house. What's good? What's good is we're just about done. We've got about 2 minutes left. Like I was saying, Dan's Fish goes live next. And if you guys have never been to a live stream that has like 700 plus people in it, they're interesting. Sometimes the chat can be a little crazy, but Dan is really good. He stays on topic. His stuff is going to stay right on the fish topic the whole time. But the chat is fun. There's a lot of good people in the chat. The chat is fun. It's a great live stream. And like I said, there was over 700 people there last week whenever I went, and it was a good time. Carrie says, have a good night. Thanks for the chat. It was nice talking to you, Carrie, and I will get back with you on your message. John Bedker says, YouTube notifications failed me 2 weeks in a row. Dang. On that Samsung phone, you probably need to just go into your calendar and just put, well, like last week, though, I went 2 hours early, so it wouldn't have helped you last week. Don't forget to smash that like button, Fish Fam. Thanks, Not Nola Jane. Thanks for the stream, Jeffro. Thanks, Ed. Yeah, we have got 1 minute left. Thanks for everyone that came out. I'm really enjoying these Wednesday night live streams. And we will catch you guys next week at the same time, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you guys have a great night. Peace out, y'all.